right now with the way things have gone lately with these close losses?
It's hard. There's no doubt about it. It's challenging when you put so much into all these games and play well for a bunch of minutes and then don't make a play to win it. Having said that, I think our guys have done a great job all year of continuing to fight and really put ourselves in positions to have chances to win games, and that's what you're trying to do is get yourself in a position, and then we just need to follow through. I think our practice was good again today. Our spirits are pretty good. Yesterday, we had an off day, which we desperately needed. As much as it is physically, it's the emotional kind of part of it that makes this really hard. Again, it's the emotional investment in where your emotions end up, in tough losses. It was obviously a very quiet bus ride home to the airport and quiet flights and bus rides back. But guys were better today, and coaches were better, and we know we're going to have to play with a ton of energy come Saturday against an extremely athletic Florida State team.
I know that hindsight's 20/20, but going back and looking at it, do you wish you had done something a little different with 3.8 seconds left there at Virginia Tech, or
no,
do you feel like it was
the matchup
you did,
we had? We wanted really the ball. We thought, when you look at the film and you see what happens, they got a guy on the ball. We've got Avery and Gabe in the front court, really out of the way, and it's one-on-one with our best athlete, Jerron Blossom game, against their guy Outlaw, who's 6'5", and Jerron's 6'7", and the best athlete on the floor. We've got Marquise down there so that we know they'll stay down there out of his way. Mm-hmm. And it's the same type of play that we ran against Georgia Tech last year, and Jerron made the catch, didn't make the shot, and he had less time. I think we could have gotten the ball into Marquise or Shelton in the backcourt, and they get a couple dribbles and they shoot a 35-footer, and in hindsight, a 35, 40-footer is better than what we ended up with. But really, I just think it was execution. We had our best athlete, best player in a position to make a catch. He got his hands on the ball, and Jerron was really right there. Dante needed to just loft it just a little bit higher and give Jerron one more second to really just kind of get underneath it, because he was going to beat Outlaw to the ball. And the other thing that's hard in that scenario people don't think about is Outlaw's in a position where if it's close and he fouls Jerron, trying to keep him from getting the ball, or whatever it is, that's a scary play. It's something that as when you're in the lead, you're always scared about a foul, and it's really again a loose ball situation. So no, I don't regret what we did. I think it was fine in terms of our scheme and what we were trying to do, get the ball to our best player. If he would have made the catch anywhere in the front court, I mean, by 3 dribbles, he could get to the rim or get it 6 to 8 feet and get a real makeable shot. And again, when we saw the look with it being one-on-one and him being a better athlete, that was what we went with.
When you win close games and it gets in your head, you can win these close games, and all of a sudden you find yourself winning them a lot. The reverse can be said the other way, right?
I think it could be. I don't think our guys though have played tentative. Like the thing that you got to remember is if you look at the way we took the lead in both games, especially the last 2 games we lost, the Syracuse game and the Virginia Tech game, our guys made plays to take the lead. We were tied with 37 seconds left or whatever it was, 40 seconds, I don't know what, against Syracuse. We call timeout, come out of a huddle and execute great zone offense. Duke just did the same thing, same scenario, didn't get a very good shot. We got a great shot, and because we had a timeout, we got ourselves organized, and we got the ball to Dante at the ACC, and he turns at the free throw line and shoots a ball in. So that's not playing tentative. That's not afraid to lose. We made a mistake with, again, we had scores table issue, and we had a guy, we didn't think was in the game, was in the game. So we made a mental mistake out of that. It had nothing to do with like being tentative to win. Then you look at Virginia Tech, and we're down, down 7 late, and we rally, and we run a little play out of another timeout, and Marquise comes off a ball screen and makes a deep 3 to tie the game, I think. Then we get a stop, and then we go right into some motion doubles that we run and get the ball to Marquise again, and he makes a great shot to give us the lead. So, like, my guys are making plays. And then obviously we had a bad defensive possession there in the last 7 seconds. You know, it was unfortunate when you go back and look at the film. They missed a layup. It was a very makeable shot. You know, City gets shoved in the back and you know, doesn't get the rebound. The ball bounces into Gabe's hands. And when you look at the replay, they kick the ball out of Gabe's hands, and it goes to the squirt where Jerron and those guys are fighting for it. Obviously, we made a mistake on the last ball screen, and we lose the game. But, again, I don't think it wasn't guys being tentative. It wasn't guys being afraid to make a mistake or playing not to win. In fact, I think it was the opposite. I think our guys are making plays to win. That's what's so heart-wrenching about the way we lost is in both instances the game was tied, you know, or we had to make a play to take the lead against Syracuse. We had to make a tying basket and a game-leading basket against Virginia Tech. So our guys are making plays. So I don't think that part of it, in terms of like the mental, is a problem. But certainly it's not easy, and it's difficult to continually try to get amped up, to play really well, to keep competing, emotionally put everything you have into all these games, and then to come up a point short. It's hard on your guys. There's no question it takes a toll. It makes it harder to come into practice and be as excited and to give everything you got. You know, human nature doesn't really want you to do all that. The more you invest in something, the more it hurts when it doesn't work out. And, you know, that's one of the things that's difficult about basketball. It's like, in some ways, you know, we're not like football where you wait a week, and sometimes that's good because you get to play right away. You know, we're not like baseball where it's the next day, so they almost tell you, like, you know, don't even worry about what happened last night, you know, because baseball games just keep coming. In our sport, it's about every 3 days you play. So it feels like things kind of stick with you, you know, longer for whatever reason. And obviously, unfortunately, we just, you know, we've been snake bit a little bit, and we haven't done enough things to finish off games.
Coach Avery only played 15 minutes the other night. Is that primarily because of the elevated play of Marquise?
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many minutes, and we really have 5 or 6 guys that can play on the perimeter, and Marquise is playing at the level he's been playing at in certain games. He's going to get anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes, you know, and obviously he got more in that game because he was at an exceptional level. And to be honest with you, the thing that was really, except for the last play, God love him, he defended well. He's an improving defensive player. Marquise is going to be a good defensive player. And, you know, he just needs some work on some off-the-ball stuff, but his on-ball defense versus the ball screens was really pretty good most of the game, and that helped keep him out there. He was fresh. He was in a great rhythm. When you're playing that way offensively, it almost gives you more life. So, you know, I think he and Shelton played extremely well in the game. Some other guys maybe had a little bit of tough nights in terms of some things. I thought Gabe gave us some things defensively in the game. I thought he made some good defensive plays in the second half. He got some deflections, got a couple steals, even though he didn't shoot the ball very well. So, again, there's going to be games when Avery's playing 25, 30 minutes, and there's going to be games when, you know, Gabe's playing 25, 30 minutes, Conte's playing 25, 30 minutes. It just, you know, Marquise certainly, by the way he's played, is earning more minutes as he should.
As well as Avery is shooting, would you like to be able to get him a few more looks from three?
Yeah, but obviously that's not easy to do. You know, he's a guy who people understand makes shots, and, you know, they try not to leave him. And, you know, it's not as easy to free him as you would think in certain situations. And he's probably not as good off the bounce as some of the other guys to create his own. And so, you know, it's a great thing that he's shooting it really well, but because he's shooting it really well, guys on the other team know that he's shooting it really well, and they're being told don't leave him. And so it's not as easy to get him as many open looks as you would like. But, you know, I respect the fact that he's shooting the heck out of the ball, and he's working really hard every day after practice to do it.
What would your message be to the fans? You've got 3 final home games coming up, and obviously home field or home court advantage is so important. What would your message be to them?
Well, we just encourage them to come out and continue to support these guys, and I think, you know, by and large they've done a pretty good job. It's not easy with the way some of our games have been, game times. Doesn't feel like we've had any Saturday games. Everything's a weeknight when we have had home games, and I know it was one Sunday night, so that's difficult. But you know, we've gotten a lot of encouraging emails and support. You see a lot of people around town that are very supportive of what we're doing. They understand. You know, everybody's a little frustrated because we all want to win, But I think they see a team that's competing hard, playing pretty dominant basketball. For whatever reason, we're not finishing off a game. And whether we make a couple mistakes, which has happened, or whether opponents step up and make big shots, and again, people are making their free throws against us. It's just one of those years where some things haven't gone our way, and we've got to continue to do a little bit better. And I think we'll have a great turnout with Alumni Weekend on Saturday. So hopefully the fans will continue to come out. Obviously, we have NC State midweek, and then the next weekend we have Senior Day with Boston College. So I hope they'll come out and honor our four seniors really, with Riley McGillen as well.
Looking forward to Florida State. They hit, I think, 17 three-pointers against you last meeting. Also hurt you in transition a lot. They're coming off a couple of losses last week to Notre Dame and Pitt. Were there some things you saw Pitt and Notre Dame do that can help you game plan for them in any way?
Not necessarily anything anybody else has done. I think, offensively we have to play much better, even though we gave up 1 million points. Some of that was a result of bad offense for sure, turnovers, block shots, some early bad shots. Again, they shot the ball unbelievably well throughout the game. And once they got a big lead, there was no game pressure. And game pressure is a very evening factor in games. It really changes. It's not easy to play in close games, especially when you're not in a lot of them. So we just need to concentrate on ourselves. We did that today, trying to get better at the things we need to get better at, try to get our energy level up, make sure guys are in a good frame of mind after a difficult, loss. And tomorrow we'll do a little bit more of Florida State, and again try to go a little bit short to keep our energy level high because of the quick turnaround with the game being at noon on Saturday.
Coach, how well did you know Burt Henderson? How heavily did that weigh on you on Tuesday?
It was hard. It's been a hard year that way with both of them. His wife, Leanne, they were both big basketball fans. Leanne came to me regularly during my time here and always wanted to know about the team, always wanted to know about the recruit, always wanted to know about the schedule. She loved basketball. And Burt was the same way. You really admired Burt because of the way his career trajectory happened at Clemson in terms of always moving up, always being promoted, getting a new job, taking on more responsibility, over in IPTE especially. But, he got to start in athletic training. He did a lot of things with basketball. Early on, especially probably my first 3 to 4 years here, I was involved even more with him in terms of going to do some fundraising things and spend a little time with him one-on-one, doing some stuff. And, he was just a very positive guy and a guy who really cared about Clemson basketball. So, yeah, it was a difficult day on Tuesday.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.